Hey, what's up, guys? Second video of the day, and it's an update on, of course, the tragedy in South Florida in the Miami area in Surfside Beach. Now the death toll with two additional children who were found, bodies were found, up to 14, with still more than 140 potentially missing. The numbers are all over the place depending on what website you look at. Some have the death toll at 12 still, some have it at 14, some have it at 15. And they have them missing anywhere from like 130 into the 150. So not sure how that is so off after a week. It's been a week since that happened. They should know how many people are in the building, how many people live there, how many people were actually home based on how many people are alive and weren't home, as opposed to how many are missing and how many have been accounted for. They should absolutely know these numbers. It's kind of weird that every site has a different number and all the different places are reporting it. But the most accurate that we can see, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that there was previously 12 reported dead. A lot of places, tons of places now reporting 14. The two children were found dead today. And one saying 15. So I don't know if they have their number a little messed up, but at least 14, probably 15. And then the number of reported missing still unaccounted for. Most of the minimum numbers are in like the 120, 130, some as high as 150. So we're going to guess there's somewhere around 140 still missing. So assuming that they're not, after a week, it's tough to find any survivors. We hope for the best. But assuming that a majority of those are found deceased, even the 120, 130 range puts us somewhere up around 150 plus fatalities in this tragedy. I don't know if you call it an accident, because a lot of evidence is coming out that this may not have been so much of an accident as it was just a lot of people failing at their job. So what I want to do is take you over to my iPad. I'm going to share the news story with you. I'm going to screen share with you, and we can check it out for ourselves, and then I'll link the story below as always. So let's go take a look. Very sad story out of South Florida. Surfside Beach in the Miami area, North Miami area. Building collapse, possibly 150 plus missing or dead. So let's take a look. Okay, so the latest update on the building collapse, the condo collapse in Surfside Beach, Florida. That is in the North Miami, Fort Lauderdale area. Of course, about a week or so ago, a condo collapsed, trapping what could possibly be upwards of 150 people. The death toll rises every day as they find more bodies. This updated just July 1st. Officials are considering demolishing the rest of the Champlain Towers south as operations continue in sections that crumbled to the ground a week ago. That's in Miami-Dade County. So the mayor, Daniela Levine Cava, said Thursday evening. Work on the debris was halted for much of the day as engineers assessed the structure still standing. Levine Cava told reporters at an evening news conference that operations resumed around 4:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the problem is this structure, as they're digging, and it's been a week now, and there's been rain and storms and whatnot, is getting really unstable. So it's becoming unsafe for the rescue workers and the salvage workers to even be on there. So they have to be very, very careful to not endanger anybody else. Giving our ongoing safety concerns about the integrity of the building, we're continuing to restrict access to the collapse zone, she said. So there you go. So they are still working at it and digging out and doing what they can, but they have to proceed with a whole lot of caution. Engineers are conducting ongoing testing and evaluations of the site to expand the search into more areas as it becomes safe to do so, she said. Miami-Dade Fire Chief Alan Kaminsky said crews are working in 3 of 9 grids. The mayor said officials need to make the decision about a likely demolition extremely carefully and methodically, taking into consideration the impact it could have on the existing pile of rubble. So they are saying, in no uncertain terms, long story short, that a lot of the missing people may not ever be recovered. They could have been crushed, demolished. It's just a terrible situation all the way around. Scott Nachman, a structure specialist with the Federal Emergency Management Agency, that's FEMA, said they will evaluate technical data and stakeholder information and pass along the findings to officials. He said it could be weeks before the demolition occurs. So hopefully they can recover a lot of these family members and bodies and the deceased for the family to have proper burials for them. State Fire Marshal Jimmy Petronis said the demolition might be sooner than we're anticipating. He said they were bringing in heavier equipment that creates potential complications to the weight that keeps the still standing sections in place. This is super unstable. The timing of it is still yet to be determined, but in order to complete what it takes, in order to finish the mission, the building will have to go. It's just too much of a risk. Earlier in the day, officials said there were concerns about the stability of the sections of the building that are still standing. Concern assessments include 6 to 12 inches of movement and a large column hanging from the structure that could fall and cause damage to the support columns in the subterranean garage area. So obviously, all of the stuff around that didn't actually collapse could still collapse and fall in on the parts that they're working on. Earlier Thursday, President Joe Biden, First Lady Jill Biden met with the search and rescue personnel, first responders, and some families of the 145 people still accounted for. Unfortunately, I've done a lot of these circumstances where I've met with families who have great loss, the president said after a 3-hour meeting. What amazed me with this group of people was the resilience, the absolute commitment, their willingness to do whatever it took. I walked away impressed by their strength. The Bidens later visited a memorial wall near the collapsed site where the First Lady laid a bouquet of flowers. So here's the crazy thing, and this is actually a story I'm going to cover a video on my channel in another video in the next day or two. There's a tropical storm who might impact the area. One more deceased victim was identified Thursday. Officials say Magali Elena Delgado, 80, was recovered Wednesday, which brings the total to 18 people are confirmed to have been killed, including 4 members of one family. Sisters Lucia Guara, 10, Emma Guara, 4, were located Wednesday, as was their mother, Anale Rodriguez, their father, Marcus Guara, who was one of the first victims found. One of the girls was a student of Miami-Dade County Public Schools. The school district's superintendent, Alberto Carvalhoa, said in total 17 of Carvalhoa's students lived in the building. He has made contact with 15 and 1 remains unaccounted for. He says he prays their district won't have to mourn another student. The weight in my heart is unbearable. Hoping to bring answers to the family of the missing, rescue teams have been working endlessly to break through 13 to 16 feet of concrete that came crashing down as many residents slept. Remember, this building collapsed at 1 o'clock, 1:15 in the morning, so most people were asleep. Governor Ron DeSantis, that's Florida's governor, said almost 1,400 tons of building material has been removed from the site. Meanwhile, a new obstacle looms as Tropical Storm Elsa has formed in the Atlantic with Surfside in its extended forecast cone. Division Director for Office of Emergency Management, Charles Cirillo, said the county faces risk of heavy rainfall and strong winds from Elsa from Sunday night into Monday morning. So if you're not from Florida, you're not familiar, it's been an active beginning of the season. Last week of June, first week of July. We don't usually get to peak season until the end of July or end of August, beginning of September. So storms are starting to form here early and often. It's getting nasty. I live in the North Tampa area, and today we had storms really, really bad from outer bands of the tropics that are going on right now. Knocked out power for several hours at my new house, and it's just getting really bad really quick. This storm Elsa is looking, it's already at 60 miles an hour. It'll probably hit hurricane status in the next day or two, tomorrow / Friday, Saturday. We're looking at a Sunday, Monday for it to start getting close into Florida, the Keys in South Florida. That is, of course, the Fort Lauderdale, Miami area. That could be an early Monday morning landing for them, Monday afternoon landing, which would completely put a halt to anything they're doing. At that point, it could be a Hurricane 1, Hurricane 2, which would be, upwards of 75 to 100 mile an hour winds, rain, floods. It's going to be real bad. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But that's the update on the building collapse out of Surfside Beach, Florida. North Miami, Fort Lauderdale area. Tragic all around. Very sad story. And hopefully, the hope of finding any survivors now is probably slim to none. But hopefully they're able to help these families with closure, recover bodies, and get it done before the hurricanes do any more damage. So I'll leave you guys with that story. I'll link it down below as always. Please feel free to leave your comments, questions, concerns in the comment section as always. Appreciate it. If you could hit that subscribe button, that would mean a lot to me. And hit that blue thumbs up, like the video, and that'll help the algorithm. And until next time, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you then.